Your diet is working, and your body is shrinking. Your energy is decent. Your sleep is fine. Your mood is steady. And your libido just fell off a cliff. No spark, no pull, no interest. That contradiction messes with your head because it feels like you should be winning. But your hormones do not care about your calendar or your relationship. They read one thing first. Are you in a shortage? If the answer is yes, desire is the first luxury to get cut. Sometimes it is not low carb. It is low fuel. Moving to slide 2. A lot of people blame carbs when the real problem is the hidden calorie crash that rides along with the carb cut. You remove bread, pasta, sweets, and you accidentally remove most of your easy calories. Appetite drops. Meals get smaller. You start skipping snacks without trying. Protein usually rises because you are building meals around meat, yogurt, eggs, shakes. Protein is great for preserving muscle, but it is also very filling, so intake keeps sliding. Then, fat stays low because you are trying to be lean, or you are scared to add oils, nuts, cheese, or bigger portions. That combination, high protein, low carb, low fat, is how a diet turns into silent semi-starvation, and libido hates silent semi-starvation. You do not need a massive deficit to trigger this. Weeks of being just a little too low every day is enough, especially if you also train hard, walk more, or stack caffeine on top of it. If your libido vanished after the diet started, treat it like a budgeting problem first. Your brain will not fund desire when the numbers say you are barely covering survival. Moving to slide 3. When energy feels scarce, your brain starts rationing. It will happily keep you alert and functional, but it gets picky about what it considers optional. Reproduction is optional. One of the biggest signals here is leptin, which tracks energy availability. When you diet down and stay in a deficit, leptin tends to fall. Lower leptin is your body hearing, food is not guaranteed. That message pushes you toward conservation mode. Less spontaneous desire, less interest, sometimes less initiative across the board. This is why you can feel mentally fine, yet still feel flat sexually. Your brain is not punishing you, it is protecting you. If you want desire back, you have to give your system evidence that energy is safe again. And part of that evidence is how hard your metabolism is being told to run. Moving to slide 4. Thyroid hormones are one way your body sets the dial. In dieting, especially when carbs are low and energy intake is low, T3 can drop. You do not need a diagnosis to feel it. When T3 runs lower, you often notice cold hands, less warmth, less drive, and a weird muted version of yourself. Libido can flatten right along with that, because your whole system is being asked to do less. Diet stress amplifies it. Hard training plus low food plus low carbs is a classic setup for feeling wired in the day, but unmotivated underneath it. If you are dieting and you are colder, flatter, and less interested in sex, do not just assume it is your age or your relationship. It can be your body turning the dial down to match the fuel you are giving it. And stress hormones are often the hand on that dial. Moving to slide 5. When glycogen is low, your body leans harder on cortisol to keep blood sugar stable, especially overnight, between meals, and around training. Cortisol is not bad. It is a survival tool. The problem is when it becomes the headline hormone of your day. High cortisol and libido do not get along. Cortisol prioritizes vigilance, problem-solving, and getting through the day. Arousal is a different state. If your nervous system is running even slightly stressed, desire gets replaced by restlessness, irritability, or a low-grade anxiety that you might not even label as anxiety. You will see it as being tired but not sleepy, waking up early, craving salt or caffeine, feeling better right after you eat, then crashing later. Training that used to feel good suddenly feels like a fight. This is where recovery becomes non-negotiable. Eat enough total calories, put carbs near training or at dinner if sleep is light. Stop stacking stimulants on top of a deficit. And if you are cutting, build in planned maintenance days so cortisol is not carrying the whole plan. Get stress down and fuel up, and desire usually follows. If it still does not, sometimes the issue is what your blood is doing with your hormones, not how much you have. Moving to slide 6. SHBG is like a sponge that soaks up sex hormones. It binds testosterone and estradiol, and whatever is bound is not available to tissues. Here's where low carb can surprise you. When insulin runs lower, SHBG often rises. That can be a good metabolic sign, but it can also mean you have less free testosterone, even if your total testosterone looks fine on a lab report. So you get the frustrating situation where your numbers look normal, but you feel off. Lower drive, flat mood, less morning confidence, slower recovery. In women, it can show up as low libido or dryness even with normal total hormones. What you do with this is simple. If you are dieting hard or running very low carbs, do not only chase total testosterone. Ask for SHBG and free testosterone, or calculate free from total, SHBG, and albumin. Then match it to symptoms and context. Labs are a snapshot. Your lived experience is the trend first. Moving to slide 7. Women's reproductive hormones are tightly tied to energy availability. Ovulation is not free. Your brain needs signals that fuel is coming in, and carbs are one of the fastest signals. If you drop carbs hard, especially with a calorie deficit and lots of training, cycles can get weird. Ovulation can become inconsistent or stop for a while. When ovulation is disrupted, progesterone tends to fall because progesterone is primarily produced after ovulation. That can show up as shorter cycles, more PMS, lighter periods, or spotting. Some women also notice less lubrication because estrogen and overall arousal signaling can dip when the system is underfueled. Desire often tracks the cycle for a reason. Libido commonly rises around ovulation when the body is essentially saying, "We have enough resources." If that peak disappears, it is a clue, not a character flaw. The fix is rarely eat junk. It is usually restoring enough total energy and adding targeted carbs around training and in the second half of the cycle. Men get a different hit, but the same root issue shows up fast when fuel is low. Moving to slide 8. For men, testosterone is strongly linked to energy status. If you are in a heavy deficit for weeks, or you combine very low carbs with high training stress, testosterone can drift down. A practical early signal is morning erections fading. That is not a moral issue. It is often a physiology issue. Erections need nitric oxide and blood flow, and those are sensitive to sleep, stress hormones, and underfueling. If performance gets worse when you are dieting, do not just add willpower. Reduce the deficit, bring carbs back around workouts, and fix sleep before you reach for supplements. When stress is high, the body protects survival first, and libido is optional. That is why low fat can make the whole thing feel even more fragile. Moving to slide 9. If you go low carb and low fat at the same time, you have basically removed two major tools your body uses to feel safe and build hormones.
Steroid hormones are built from cholesterol, and extremely low dietary fat can make it harder to maintain a healthy hormone environment, especially during a cut.
You also need fat to absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which support endocrine and reproductive function. And the type of fat matters. An imbalance where omega-6 intake is high and omega-3 is low can tilt signaling toward more inflammatory tone, which can worsen mood, recovery, and sexual function. One more trap is satiety. Low carb plus very low fat can crush appetite, so you accidentally undereat for weeks. If libido drops, bring fat back to a reasonable floor and verify you are actually hitting calories. Carbs can then work like a clean hormone signal instead of a cheat code. Moving to slide 10. Carbs are not just fuel. They are a signal. They nudge leptin upward. They raise insulin in a way that supports GnRH signaling. And they can support a calmer mood, partly through serotonin pathways. They also refill glycogen, which lowers the perceived stress of training. For many people, timing beats totals. Put more of your carbs in your training, and if needed, later in the day to support sleep. When training load climbs, that signal can be the difference between thriving and sliding. Moving to slide 11. Training can tip you over when your diet is already tight. Hard sessions burn through glycogen. And if you are low carb on top of that, the same workout can feel brutally harder. You push anyway. Then you wake up sore, flat, and under-recovered. Do that long enough and you are not just tired. You can drift into overreaching, where mood drops, sleep gets lighter, and libido often goes with it. That is not a character flaw. It is a signal that your body is prioritizing survival over drive. The fix is rarely more grit. It is smarter loading and planned relief. A deload, even 1 week of reduced volume and intensity, can restore the hormone and nervous system signals that make training feel sharp again. Moving to slide 12. Here is a simple fix checklist you can run this week. First, stop chasing aggressive weekly losses. If the scale is dropping fast, libido and performance are usually paying for it. Second, raise calories before you dramatically change carbs. Often, a modest bump in total intake is enough. Third, add fat to meals, especially if you have gone very lean. Fat supports energy availability and helps meals feel satisfying. Fourth, place carbs near your hardest sessions, either before, after, or both, so training does not feel like a grind. Fifth, protect sleep before you buy supplements. Most test boosters cannot outwork 5 or 6 hours a night. If you do these in order, you usually see better energy, better workouts, and a libido that starts acting like a normal human signal again. Moving to slide 13. Sometimes you need labs, not more tweaks. If libido is low for weeks, performance is sliding, or you feel cold, foggy, or unusually fatigued, ask your clinician about checking thyroid markers, iron status including ferritin, and vitamin D. For sex hormone context, testosterone alone is not enough. You also want SHBG because it changes what is available, and prolactin when symptoms fit. If you have cycle changes, missed periods, or unusually heavy bleeding, that deserves evaluation, not guesswork. Erectile dysfunction can also be an early vascular warning sign, especially if it is new or worsening. And do not ignore persistent pain, unexplained bruising, or any bleeding that is not normal for you. The goal is to rule out problems while you rebuild the basics. Moving to slide 14. You get your spark back by choosing a deficit you can actually live in, then respecting stress and recovery like they are part of the program. Use carbs with intention around demanding sessions. Track signals, not perfection, like sleep quality, morning energy, training performance, and libido trends. If you are stuck, ask for help sooner than later. If this was useful, subscribe for more evidence-based cuts that do not wreck your life. Drop a comment with what signal you notice first when you are underfueled. This content is educational and not medical advice. Metabolism first. Everything else follows.